Good morning, everyone. How are you? I have to tell you, I made this video earlier in the week, but Mercury really got me. I gave some wrong dates and then just some other things I said. I decided, you know what? I'll just make that video again. So here we are. How's everybody doing? Um, Thank you to everybody who subscribed when I brought up checking that. Also, maybe check your notifications because they tell me that there's a very low percentage of subscribers getting notifications. So I know they stop that for me with other channels. So I assume that they do the same thing all over. So we got a big new moon coming up. I think you might have just seen the kitty run inside or run past the camera. Big new moon in Libra with Mars in the mix. I've been watching since Mars went into Libra, just in my news feed, a lot of astrologers having discussions about Mars in Libra, because Mars in Libra, it's the traditional belief with astrology that Mars is hampered there. What I've found, like for people that I know with Mars and Libra, it typically is someone who fights for the underdog, and maybe from the position of the underdog. Like Nelson Mandela is one native Mars and Libra, and really looks at both sides of the equation. There's Venus back there. Weighs both sides, takes his time. He's not like super go out there, be obnoxious, take what you can and move on. That he's not that Mars when he's in Libra. The reason that we're talking about him is that he is a part of the sun and moon coming together to form that new moon. And, in the tarot, Mars is the emperor because he's exalted in Capricorn. Like we come in, we're little ego monsters, believing all of us that, the world, our parents exist for us, which is why it's crushing when they don't respond to us or, aren't as nurturing and caring as they could be. But he grows up and he becomes the master when he's going through Mars in Capricorn, is the master, our own mastery, where we've mastered the, let's just say the human, the flesh. Okay, Metatron saying the flesh, like gotten our habits in order, taken control of our lives, and accomplished what we needed to do, kind of getting it all done. So, and then Metatron, so that's going to be, part of this energy. But because Mars is involved, what Metatron showed me with this launching sort of thing, with this energy for the new moon, is a slingshot. And, the tension of the rubber band being pulled back. A lot of us need to go back and finish up, not because we're late, but just because this is the time. This is the timing that we're doing that. Looking back to past scenarios where we haven't been in control, haven't taken charge, haven't allowed ourselves to be the one in control and responsible for ourselves. So a lot of, deciding with the job, the boss, the spouse, the partner, the friend, if there is a situation where someone has the upper hand, this is time to rectify, to remedy that, and make sure that there's equality happening. So the new moon takes place on the 6th of October for everyone. In Central Standard Time, that'll be 6:05 a.m. So we got a 5. Lots of change, and kind of, it's like this Saturn square Uranus once again, where, old things shifting, falling away, something new coming about that's best for all that is. London, it's 12:05 p.m. In Sydney, it's 10:05 p.m. And remember that all of these planets, so Mars, Mercury, and of course that day the sun and moon in Libra, are answering to the ruler of Libra, Venus, who is at the anaretic degree of Scorpio. She doesn't like to let go. She can dig her heels in, because remember, Venus, the Taurian energy, you mix that into Scorpio, you got a whole lot of stubbornness happening, not willing to move forward, because those are the signs that tend to hold on to things, procrastinate, don't really like change so much. I can attest to that. But when she's at that anaretic degree of Scorpio, of course, she's working in mutual reception with Mars, but ultimately she's answering to, with Uranus also answering to her, she's answering to Pluto. And Pluto is answering to Saturn. Pluto and Capricorn answering to Saturn. And Pluto and Capricorn, it's a lot of the vibration of the cave and going within. And that was one of the ways, one of the tools he's saying that he recommended us using over during this energy, because Mars in Libra, just while it's in the sky, in transit, can make a lot of people feel powerless and frustrated. And then, of course, with Pluto in the end degrees of Capricorn, it can be a lot of fear and paranoia. People weighing options of a choice, and then when they make the choice and the consequences that come with the choice, they're being victimized in some way because of Neptune and Pisces having that conversation with Pluto and Capricorn. So right now in the sky, because Jupiter is in Aquarius with Saturn, he's also answering to Saturn as the traditional ruler of Aquarius while he's there with him. And Neptune and Pisces is the only planet that's not answering to Saturn, except for that Mars Libra, or Mars and Venus mutual reception that we have happening. Very, scorpionic energy. So keep that in mind. Now, right after that, obviously, because Venus is at the anaretic degree, she will move, I believe, on the 8th. On the 8th, she will move into Sagittarius, and that will feel better because, then she is answering to Jupiter, and Jupiter relates to freedom, and so does Aquarius. So when you look at the chart for the new moon, and of course, Mars is always emphasizing freedom. There's going to be a lot of breaking out of relationships. And remember that this energy plays out for new moons 2 to 3 years, let's say, because you can't really like say exactly how many months. Astrology doesn't really work like that. Energy doesn't really work like that. The South Node, too, is coming to the end. The nodes will change signs in January, but the node is finishing up those few degrees, the early degrees of Sagittarius now, because nodes always are moving backwards. So he's moving towards Scorpio. So Venus is going to meet up with the South Node, even though they're in different signs with this new moon. Oh, there's the kitty. They're still in a conjunction. So this could be, someone coming back from the past. Doesn't necessarily mean that we knew them in this existence before, but someone coming back, kind of like everything old is new again, as the way that he's phrasing it. And also, let's keep in mind, since I mentioned Pluto and Capricorn in the first video that I made, Metatron talked about this a bit more, that Nostradamus and Metatron did talk about the fact that the governments were like bumbling around trying to figure out how to handle it. A lot of them have gone, too far in one direction or not far enough in one direction. But that's really, when we were talking about it, about the different governments and how this is being handled, this worldwide, situation that we're dealing with. He was playing the song Land of Confusion by Phil Collins for me. And it's a little bit like that in this energy. We have the finger of God involving Neptune and Uranus with the new moon energy. So, really, it's kind of like some sort of change that we see coming, some sort of revelation that maybe we don't have 100% clarity. We may just get marching orders, Mars, for like that first step that we could take in one direction. But, a lot of you, I mean, just, I don't know, at least the past month, every day I talk to someone who doesn't know what the next step is or what to do next or feels stuck. That's, it's like that rubber band or slingshot being pulled back. It's kind of like we're on hold, but we're definitely looking back to see what we need to work out. Now, remember how important Pluto is, because Venus is answering to Pluto. Pluto will move forward. He has been retrograde since April 27th. He will move forward in the energy of this new moon. So, again, power. Mars, Pluto, the rulers of Scorpio, taking our power back, whether we've ceded it to a habit that's gotten a little out of hand, a boss, like I said, an authority figure, fear, taking our power back, taking control, taking the wheel, and going forward. Probably, again, will be a slow start, just so you know. It's not going to be like a pull back and then go. It's going to be pull back and then go, is the way he's showing me. So Saturn then will move direct on the 10th, and he has been retrograde since the 23rd of May. So the reason I mention why, when they first went retrograde is because those will be the subjects. Like if things were going on for you, if you had specific things happening on those dates, when the planets return to those degrees again, typically they are going to come up again. Not just because we're in a Mercury retrograde too. But, I don't like so many posts about, just so you guys know, when people are making a big deal about retrogrades, all of the planets were in forward motion when the entire Western world went into quarantine. So please don't give too much attention to that. That's just, silliness. It's really just silliness. It's not based on anything. Jupiter and Mercury will both go direct on the 18th, 19th of October. So we start the month with 6 planets in retrograde. When we finish, it'll just be Uranus and Neptune. Uranus won't move forward until January. I believe Neptune is December, beginning of December, but I haven't looked, honestly. And then he was also talking about a lot of us feeling as if we're in the wastelands, in the deserts, in some sort of drought. I've been super thirsty. I don't know about you guys, but I have been so thirsty. But that this is the place for creatives, for prophets. This is where they find solace. And always, again, I know it's boring, but going within. He said months ago, we're not going to find satisfaction out there. People are super angry. That's why I'm part of the reason I'm remaking this video, because some of the things I said, I just thought, no, I'm not even going to say that on YouTube. And then the inner journey being one of an adventure and creating some new habit, implementing, he's saying, some new phase, because that's what we need to do. If we feel like we're stuck in a rut, then when we shift ourselves with adding something to the daily schedule that's out of the norm, going walking in a different place. I don't know. I mean, you guys can think of a lot of things that we could do, not huge things, just making a change signals to the universe. Then I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for a change to come in. And he was reminding us that creation begins in the void. It does begin in the void. That is the space where we create. That if we can't skip that stepping stone. So, anything that leads to justice, to balance, those will be the things coming up. And that is where we want to put our energy, into some new balance, and justice. I'm just looking at this to see if there's anything else that, and then still, with dreams, keep a journal. Those of you who are having a lot of things go on in dream time because of what's happening right now in Pisces with Pallas Athena, you could be getting insights and direction from dreams. So Venus is at the 29th degree, the anaretic degree of Scorpio. Through a doorway, nothing but empty blue sky in all directions. This degree opens doorways to greater freedom and expanded realities. It has a deep awareness of all limitations and a sense of the way out of them. And even if the step through the door into a greater reality cannot be taken immediately, or we don't have an idea of the exact time, at least we can look through the door, seeing into what is beyond, so it may be appreciated and possibly entered into later. We might call this degree the freeing power of death. So, when something old dies, something new comes about. That's just the law. That's one of the laws of the universe, a law of creation. Nothing ends or expires. It continues on in a different form. So that's something to keep in mind with relationships. If it is a budding relationship, this could be a very passionate time. If it's a relationship that's been in place for a long time, maybe try to add something new, something fun for you guys to do together to try to rekindle, to rekindle passion and remember why you came together in the first place. Metatron did want me to say, have you outgrown them? And this can be a job too. Or are you still comfortable robbing yourself? Have you outgrown them? Or are you still robbing yourself? Are you comfortable still robbing yourself? That's Uranus square Saturn. Saturn needs to know. I can't read my own writing again. But he was talking about like how the word discipline is so triggering for us because we feel like that means somebody is trying to control us. But he was saying the strength and the power that returns to us when we take control and show some self-discipline. And then there's a reason that we're in seclusion right now and trusting that that's for our benefit. Not everybody's out to get us, trying to hurt us, trying to trick us. Let's remember what happened when they made up that lie about death panels, when we were, passing the right to have medical insurance for everybody, just for you in the United States. All of that fear went into the ethers about death panels, and now what's happening? They're like deciding who is going to get treatment, who is not going to get treatment. So many, the entire, well, maybe not the entire evangelical movement, but it's a lot of people. And then in the spiritual community, they've gone along with that, are embroiled in this fear. Someone's going to get us. Someone's going to force us. Someone's going to take advantage. Someone's trying to kill us. That does something. That creates something. So, that's why I said, make the decision what you're going to do and just let it go instead of contributing to that, because it's going to come back. I mean, that's the way it works, right? And then also being careful of boundaries. A lot of times with this energy, it's so ungrounded. If you can sit, he's saying relaxing, breathing, like a lot of people, it helps if we can breathe up from the feet, see the Earth star rotating. I like to stand up and say, I know what it feels like, that I'm supported, and then I feel my feet lock in to the Earth star. I ask to be put back into my body. And ultimately, of course, Mars is about independence. And I know that it's in the sign of relationships, but you can have independence and be in a healthy, equal, energetic exchange, balanced relationship. And this will be a time when, if that isn't, harmony isn't going on, it will be very obvious. Remember that Mercury, when he went retrograde, he was opposing Eris. So, and everything in the sky answering to Saturn or Pluto and Capricorn, that it's a lot of stuff's going to go down during this retrograde, or maybe like set in motion where you can see, okay, something is going to shift. Might not happen, like I said, maybe 2 to 3 years that plays out. Um, he was giving me these notes the other night, and all I had to write on was my bank statement. So I'm like flipping the envelope around, trying to read it. And then, of course, with Libra, receiving. It isn't so much putting out, it's about giving back to ourselves. Otherwise, the balance is out of whack, and then all kinds of crazy things start happening that cause us loss because the universe is showing us, like, you're screwing yourself. In this way, turn it around and make sure that you're number one. Then the universe, shows us that. And then Mercury, of course, is going to be with Arcturus and Spica. And so I spoke to the Arcturians. They said a turning point in bounty/harvest through relationship harmony and reaping what we've sown in relationships. And one mantra that would be really good for October is waking up every day and saying, I resonate with all things in the highest decibel of joy, and allowing ourselves to feel the inner joy, inner harmony, inner peace, coming to that balance within, because until it's done within, everything reflects the imbalance. Everything without is going to reflect back to us that imbalance. Is there anything else that you would like to mention? Yeah, just that this is a volatile time. He's not encouraging us in any way. He's saying to like sit home in seclusion. But if we can limit contact with people who we know, enjoy, pressing the buttons or, aggravating us. We all have people like that in our lives, right? So this is a good time to kind of take a step back from that. I don't agree that, when someone returns from the past, it's always a good idea to allow them, to open that door for them. So you decide for yourself. But he's really encouraging us to be demonstrations of peace. With Pluto so involved in this, with Scorpio involved, it's very important not to take things personally. People are angry. They want to vent. Don't let anybody vent their icky all over you. Be careful with yourself and who you're associating with, and really mind yourself on social media. Do the light shower after you get off the social media. I have to do that for sure. So, okay, everybody, listen, I'm making some changes on my website. I still don't have a very long wait. This time of year is always pretty open. But I do have a lot of time off in November and December. So, if you want to talk to me before the Uranus square Saturn thing ends at December 24th, then this is a really good time to make that appointment. But okay, sorry about that. I'm going to put up some new offerings, some different offerings, and then I'm hoping that I'll be scheduling like a weekly Zoom meeting. I won't be able to open that to so many people. I need to know first, I think it will be on Tuesdays. So, but I have to decide time and when it will start. But that is what I'm hoping to do, is give up some client time, one-on-one client time, with a bigger group of people. I would like to be able to do that as soon as possible. Whenever I'm given the okay. He just said, Metatron said I said whenever I'm given the, and he said giddy up. He's being funny. Anyway, guys, sending you guys so much love and balance and harmony. Yay. All right, everybody, you take care, and I love being with you guys for the video. So thank you to everybody who tuned in for the premiere. I'm sure it'll go up Friday evening. It takes a long, I have to upload it 4 times, so that's the delay between when it's recorded and when you see it. So, all right, everybody, sending you love. Take care. Bye-bye.